Number 2, here's our ethicist. What is a pie's response? What does he say? Number 3, do you agree with that response? Yes or no? And then number 4 ties into it. So if you were the ethicist, how would you have responded to that person? And I encourage you to look at the other side of the coin too. So think of a counter argument that you could make. If you agree, try to disagree, and vice versa. And then number 5 really isn't a question, but I want you each to do some recording, especially of opposing viewpoints, and try to pull evidence directly from the response, like use the details of the response to help you. I'm going to give you just about 5 minutes, run through these questions, and then on the board, if you take a look, what I really want you to get at is the core values that are at play. So as you're in your discussions, think about what are the values that you have that might be different than the values that someone else might have at your table. And it's okay to disagree. I think it'd be cooler if you disagree. And then we're going to dive into the bigger issue of society, right? Like, why should we care about this? How does this affect society as a whole? And then we'll come back and talk about it. So take about 3 minutes, 5 minutes, have a discussion, answer those, then get into the bigger issue, because I think some of you will fly through those, and then we'll talk about them as a class. Okay? All right, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to debate. Get loud.
So the big issue here is that, these people are complaining that they're too poor to afford school, which is my main. Well, and then again, with the judging of their current lifestyle, they're already wasting enough money as it is on all this other crap, like, or $7,000 design, like that, all this other expensive lifestyle, like the non-family friendly car, as well as the top restaurants and stuff. Instead of actually spending all this money on waste things such as cars and stuff, just spend it actually paying for your child's tuition instead of your own lifestyle and stuff. As well as, like, if you don't want to live in a fancy house and stuff, you can still go to a private school and be in somewhat of a modern, average house and stuff.
Well, no, I feel like if they worked hard enough to earn
I agree on that thing though, but they don't even be buying things like the latest fashion jewelry and handbags and stuff. And like the car's okay because it gets you from A to B and stuff, but at the same time you don't need to buy something like a Ferrari or a Bentley or something else. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, like just get a different car. He's like a Land Rover. That's a very high end SUV car, but it's still averagely priced.
So what's our core value that we're discussing here?
Wasting money on pointless objects.
Like what people spend their money on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? So the issue here is that these people are spending their money on themselves and not on their kids, right? Not on their kids' education, right? So education is actually valuable too.
We're replacing those same extra things with necessities like this, children's education.
Right.
But I was like I don't have a problem with them financially because it says it's like $27,000 per year per child.
Right.
They're gonna have 4 children. Like even if I was rich, I would still take advantage of that. Of like the financial school.
And why should that be okay? Why should that be okay?
Because the school knows that they have, this is a private school, so they have like higher class people coming in. So the school knows that these families are rich and they're able to afford it. They're still offering financial aid.
But then again, if you want to go to school as well, and you want to go to a private school, you may not be able to afford it. And I think they'll understand that. I think the parents will understand that, hey, if we can't afford this, we may need to send you to this school just for financial aid. And even so, this goes back to them just wasting money. If they would have actually prioritized their spending as well as the materials they own, as well as their mortgage and stuff, they probably could afford to pay for all 4 of these kids, but instead, they just wasted it all on frivolous antics and whatnot.
So now they're 2 kids into it, and their spending habits haven't
Changed it all.
They're taking the money that should be saved for the people who actually need the financial aid, the people that are spending all this money on their kids and they're, not spending as much money on accessories and stuff like that, and they're wasting that money and taking it for themselves when they're not struggling as much as other people.
Like just like thought something like
Yeah.
like even in the title it says apply.
Right.
Like when they haven't, the school hasn't like accepted them yet. You know, so like she's going to the meeting first. Like I think the school then will decide like if they should get financial aid. Like it's something not decided yet. Yeah.
And the school could always deny that in favor of.
Yeah.
I think, and even going back to the whole thing of like, because like I said, it doesn't look at leader Bentley idling, like, because you can imagine how many people that's gonna like anger and just generally displease and stuff. Because these people are like, you have certain people who are working paycheck to paycheck, barely needing the needs to send their kids to school, whilst barely also paying for the needs they need to actually survive as human beings and not be thrown to the curb, literally. Instead of not, being stuck out on the streets scrapping garbage cans for their dinner next week. I mean, honestly, there are points to where, yes, you do need some financial aid, but then again, you still need to prioritize your cash in order to where it's not being wasted on, like I said, frivolous antics, but also as well as just moving onward to spending and setting up for, like, college and stuff, because $27,000 per year for a child is nothing compared to the actual college tuition costs, because it's like, what now? In addition to also student loan debts as well, if you get goes out, it's just going to be average. It's just going to keep on piling up until you pretty much are paying till you're in your 60s.
So we talked core values like this brings into question our own personal value of education, right? How we feel education should be a bigger priority than right? For them it's not. We talked about spending habits of spending, right? And spending more money on stuff. Anything else? You guys, just got some questions for you? Or what's the bigger issue? Like why should we care about this?
Because when you waste your money on pointless antics such as this and this, it will cause an inflation of those items, which make it more costly. So then when they buy these more costly items, they keep on increasing their own prices themselves because they keep on buying these fruitless antics. And then the prices of other things such as other things go down. The demand for all these other things go down as well with the cost. And not only that, but you're also risking having everybody else having an economic failure as well because of the higher imbalance in inflation.
I think the bigger issue on this is the article makes it seem like they spend more money on themselves than their kids. I guess like what the person who wrote is trying to say is, should they be allowed to have this option if they're not going to try and fix themselves first?
Right. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, like should be have the option.
Yeah. And you want to still stand by they should have the option.
Yeah. To an extent. Like, they shouldn't be like asking, like, hey, I would like $100,000 to send my 3 kids to school, even though I already make around a 6-figure salary or so. I mean, to be honest, though, stuff like that just kind of is like really aggravating to see people do that. But as well, it's still like mine said, it's still like a parental issue. Like, if you're not breaking the habits that you
If you're not going to put forth the effort
to make your kids better,
yeah,
then they're going to absorb your habits as well. You're just living off your pretty much your inheritance. Sorry.
So like if the financial aid is like out there, like everyone knows that the financial aid is out there, and like people, you can either like apply to it or just not apply to it. I feel like people that don't apply to it complain that other people are applying to it, but it's not like their fault. It's right there. Like you can do it too. You don't have to.
That presents a bigger issue too. Who are the people that are really going to be the type of people who go out the financial aid, right? Sometimes it seems like the people that do that are more educated and wealthier. I think it could be the case, not every time, but I feel like educated people tend to know there are more opportunities. That could be a problem in and of itself. Like lower income families might not even realize they have that option, right? Because they're not as well informed. then it brings up your spending habits for me too, right? If you're thinking about, if the school only knows maybe how many assets you have, how much you invest in stocks or whatever, homes you own. Maybe they know that, but really they might just know your income. So think about that. If they know that you have this six-figure income, but they don't know that you spend it on all of those things, then should they know, right? Isn't that, I would kind of feel violated if someone knew how much I spent, but if they did know that, they would know.
I would say
This couple was spending more than that. I don't know. Can you punish the kids then? I feel like that opens another. Punish the kids.
Well, also, I feel like if it, in a really weird, dismissive situation, there's actually the parents plan all along to get the kids saying, hey, I'm spending all this money on myself, and I'm making you pretty much are the reason why we need to ask for money and stuff. So if you actually work harder in order to be more successful and teach his or her kids that will not make the mistakes that their parents made as well. It's just learning how to develop well spending habits as well. I mean, if that is the way, then that's really a non-efficient way of showing, hey, let's show us this amazing spending habits by wasting money on this 4%, and then you can work up later, work your ass off to do this all this other stuff.
That's true.
Can I say
You already did.
just leave it out?
Yeah.
Just post that in whatever.
They went more in depth with certain things because they had more time because there weren't so many kids having questions and things.
Right.
It's I feel like we wouldn't know about private schooling until we experienced maybe a day of a private school kid's life, just because I don't think we've ever experienced a private school. I haven't because my brother's Berkeley.
Right, absolutely. So we need to take the time to walk in those shoes to really see.
Yeah, I don't think we should rule out that public school is the equivalent of
Yeah, true. The school could, the community they live in could genuinely be a terrible school,
yeah,
a bad
they could
environment.
be the same education, but private school could also be better.
Right, good, thank you. Maddie, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it said they lived in the city and just
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you public schools are in the city, sometimes they could be more rough. So I think maybe that's why they're leaning more towards a private school, and that's what they've been doing. And it, she said, it could the education could be better there. So I think that is up to the family.
Yeah, and shouldn't they be, so you keep saying up to the family, and I agree with that. So it's almost I don't know, our core value is the family, right to privacy, right? And right to send your kid wherever you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. So along with the privacy thing, it's about the spending habits that are addressed here, right? That kind of came up a little bit in our conversation. So do you really want the guy, so sure, you might have this $100,000 income. Do you want the government or the school or anybody to know how you spend your money? But are we kind of making a value judgment based on how these people are spending their money, right? About that privacy issue. Kaylee, go ahead.
Well, I have sort of multiple things, because I feel like if you're going to have those luxuries just clearly obvious to everyone around you when you're carrying that designer purse and you're driving that luxurious car, people are clearly going to know how you spend your money. Not only that, with the public school issue, we were all talking about education, but there's also the thing about safety, and we were saying with the area or whatever, there's a lot of public schools now, even in our Pittsburgh region, that have metal detectors walking into their schools, and they're very, very strict about it. And the fact that they thought that was a necessity to have those to protect their students. And a lot of parents probably, that's not going to look appealing to them when they're trying to send their kids to school.
Right. I agree. Thank you. That safety issue is a big concern that we didn't even talk about. Yeah, go ahead, Sydney.
My stepsister's gone to private school her whole life.
Yeah.
Just because that's what her mother wanted her to do. She just felt like she would have more opportunities there.
Yeah.
And just there's a lot more focus on what she's doing. And my brother and I have gone to public school our whole life, and my stepsister has gotten a lot more opportunities. So I mean, wanting them to go to public or to private school is wanting them to be there and have those opportunities are two different things than just not being able to afford it.